Jaylen Ramsey practice today, and will he play on Sunday?
Had a good walkthrough today. I think we're going to be smart, but we are eager to get him out there. So I anticipate him to, in some way, shape, or form, practice. I don't know the level yet. That's how these things work. You kind of go with the process. But that and whether or not he can play in the game, it does matter to everyone, both teams, and whatever. I do understand that and regard it. Quite honestly, I don't know, but if I did know, I wouldn't tell you. But I really don't know.
Mike, you guys had a hamstring situation with Rob Hunt last year. What did you learn from that? Yes, that you can apply here.
No, that's so you get in these situations where you have to treat each player individually, right, and who they are, and so you can't just rush to judgment about, okay, this happened to this person, so this is gonna happen. However, you can educate and have the only person that truly knows, which is the player, be able to give us feedback beyond what we can scan or assess from science. So that those things aren't lost. That's a great example of someone that had every positive intention, and just to understand the residuals, the ramifications of decisions, and how you can't be short-sighted. These are the nauseam conversations to make sure that guys understand the consequences of their actions, and then we communicate with the same intentionality as everything else. And when you have people working together, hopefully you get to learn from situations, understand that each situation is independent.
Mike, despite how long Jaylen has been here, and obviously he's a great player, nobody's disputing that. What is the value in giving him this contract or signing this extension with him now compared to letting the rest of it play out?
Has it been confirmed? It has, because I'm confirming it. I think just it's awesome for me to have fundamental beliefs and foundational beliefs on what we're here to do as an organization, as coaches. We're the players that we get, we're supposed to maximize them, and in hopes of when players are maximized, they can be compensated appropriately in however fashion that is. That as a coach, you're supposed to add value to a player. So in that process, when people lean in, whoever it is, every single contract is important to me, because that's a part of our jobs to do, and that's why I stay out of the books and let people handle that stuff. But in an organization, you can do that when the owner, Chris Greer, Brandon Shore, all understand the how to prioritize what our roles are here, and positively reinforcing the stuff that we want. So I think he fits into there's been a ton since I got hired here, when you look at it, and all of those things are part of they're part of the business, and as it but for us and really the team, I think they are happy that their guys are in good positions to play football and do it, knowing that it's the best place for them in all ways, shapes, or forms. So I'm happy organizationally for everything that we've done this offseason, because I think it fits what we're about.
Mike, just to follow up quickly, what has, in the trying to do the math in my head. Let's just call it 17, 18 months since he's been here. What has Jaylen Ramsey brought to this organization?
So I think everybody knows you have, or everybody knows, when everyone knows the name of someone that's joining the team, and that name is based upon a reputation of talent and skill, everyone's excited. You don't know what you're totally, you think you know, but you're always excited to see how that person's going to fit in within the overall complexion of things. And it, since he's been here, it's almost felt purposeful, mutually purposeful, in that Jaylen saw a different level of player and leader this team could benefit from, and so he seized that, and I think the team has definitely benefited from it, and to the point that much was made about the team's speech that he gave on a sweaty, was that July day, maybe early August, and then unfortunately for him and the team, he got hurt, but like the real leaders, the real influencers on a football team don't have to play to positively affect their teammates. And when I tell you it's adversity is an opportunity, and the opportunity for our defense was to facilitate the vision that Jaylen had for the way we play, and actually bring it to life against two different joint practices and against ourselves as we prepared for the season. So I think that's a little caveat to what's been unique about elite players. There's several of them in the league that have that captain mentality, and when you have that captain mentality and are a competitor that want to dictate the terms, you have a rise in everyone's competitiveness, and that's a overall win for the Miami Dolphins.
Mike, has anybody talked to Javon Holland at this point? Because he's probably wondering, when is my turn going to come?
I talked to him today. I talked to him yesterday and the day before that. I talk to him every day, and we talk about football. And again, all the stuff that's not fun about the business. That's the great thing about Chris Greer. I leave him to do his job, and we talk football, and that's what he wants. He doesn't want us to be masters of all things life skills coach. He wants football and stuff that and he doesn't. I think players appreciate the fact that it's not on my mind, because I think it's a disservice to what I should be doing that day for that player and all the players. And so we have great conversations. Dapped him up this morning. He was really fired up about the team meeting. I think he laughed at a couple of my jokes. State of the Union.
Brewer told us yesterday he's good to go for Sunday with the hand. Will Liam be your right guard on Sunday?
I would be. I think. I mean, Barry, I usually don't answer these questions, but man, you're just smiling at me today, and I think you're gonna see Liam at the right guard on Sunday. The opponent thinks he as well.
Last night, there were an awful lot of illegal formation penalties. I'm not sure if you were watching, but there were a ton against the Ravens. How much did that catch your attention? Have you and Butch perhaps had a discussion about avoiding that on Sunday, since the refs seem to be looking out for it?
No. So what we do from literally every Friday, you guys talk to me, is we have a team meeting, and a portion of the team meeting, the segment is around the league, and so you try to re-emphasize things that are points that are happening to other teams, so it doesn't fall deaf on. I don't know what everybody's doing. I'm certainly not watching the game live. I'm preparing for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And who knows what a lot of people on the team at that exact time, if they're all watching or not. So we take the unknown out of it and make sure that from each and every week, things that are being emphasized or things that are other teams are falling victim of, that we learn from it, as opposed to learning from it the hard way like they had to. So we try to do that every single time. It's, I think, an absolute that the foundational principle of offense for us is legal offense. So, illegal formations and those pre-snap penalties, something that, was, I think, the first question that I had a couple years or a year ago after the 22 season, where we were doing it a lot. Doesn't matter what you do after the snap if the formation's illegal. So, like, cool play, effort, strain, all of that. And you try to make that point very clear, so that guys are trying to, if they want anything to happen after the snap that matters, you should have the appropriate amount of people on the line of scrimmage.
Mike, I don't want to make Sunday too much about Trevor versus Tua, but it's difficult not to think about the 2019 college football championship game. Do you think he has any extra to
No,
add?
I mean, once you bring it up, yeah, definitely. But I had not thought about it.
I'm sure you didn't. Do you think Tua has any extra motivation to beat the Jag just because of who's at the helm of that offense?
Those things are real. Those narratives are real. It's what pushes conversation of our great game that we all benefit from. However, there's an art in the National Football League to making or to properly prioritizing your motivations. You can have the extra ones that whatever, but if you want your team to be good, you better be focused on doing things for your teammates and welcoming achievement from team operation, and all of those things of how we do our jobs together and the way that we play football is, fortunately enough for us, because of guys like Tua and a countless number of other guys, that's what we're worried about, because the leaders on the team have demonstrated how to appropriately focus on what actually matters. Because if you get caught up in literally, you do not play one snap against Trevor Lawrence, Tua. And so I know for a fact that his motivations are far superior, and they're all motivated from within the organization, his family, and his teammates.
Mike, you guys play 2 games in 5 days. You talked about that a couple times. I know in the NBA they have load management. I haven't seen a ton of that in football, but I'm curious if that's something you guys start to think about.
Man, you're looking at Mr. Load Management, bro. Like that. If you ask the players and you're listening to how they're describing their day-to-day activities, veterans that have had a lot of success and been on really good teams around the league, new guys on this team, guys that have been here, they all talk about this is the hardest we've ever practiced. And one of the main reasons that guys are able to go above and beyond is because, I take it very, it's very important to me to earn their trust and understand that we'll push them while also managing some loads along the way in the course of the week. So we do that strategically based upon when we have pads on, what we're doing, where the area of the fields are. Today is always a focus on timing of pass game and pass defense in the red zone, and then we take the load down. We change our speeds which is a whole nother skill for a team that you need to be able to do, is how you are able to have the amount of intensity of a full speed competitive practice when you're trying to manage your bodies. All those things, vet management is just an extension of what we do across the board for the team, because you have the science and data. You're trying to prepare guys for game situations. You're trying to push their bodies for the natural callus that you need in the National Football League for week in, week out football, while having them be fast, physical with elite technique. So to do that, you have to have a common ground. We do that week in, week out. Thursday night games are an extension of what a Friday is in a normal week. So that's very different. We're practicing very different than we usually do because of the load.
There's an NFL game happening tonight in Brazil. What's your take on the NFL trying to become a global brand, and would you like to see the Dolphins play a game in Latin America soon?
Yeah. I think that's sometimes we can't get out of our own way when we look at our individual like jobs and lives and what things require. Like, I'm sure you guys, it's cool to go to another country, but it's an upheaval in your lives. It's the same. It can be the same for teams if you let it. And my thing is, the growth of the game is paramount to everything that we want and everything that keeps our great game going, and all of that. I think it's an honor to get the opportunity to play a sport that is our country's rock bed, really, at this point, from a viewership standpoint, and then be able to take that to other countries around the world in particular. It would be very special for us. Hopefully we get the opportunity sometime to play in Latin America based upon being in Miami. I think that's awesome. I lost a lot of sleep, and it was uncomfortable in the moment when we went to Germany, but I was also really fired up and privileged because I know, the overall growth of the game is depending on us playing those type of atmospheres. So I think it's really cool, and we will jump at the opportunity when given.